Hello and welcome to another episode of Bored and Annoyed. I'm Jackson.
And I am home at the movies.
And this week we're going to be sharing our reactions to the Oscar nominations.
Indeed. Bored and Annoyed. The Oscars, most illustrious of awards.
Yes.
Most
the biggest thing you can win in the movies.
Also the biggest thing you can win in life. Or so I've been told.
That's according to them, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. They seem like it's really important to them.
Yeah. We're going to do news first, though.
All right.
I heard you had some Mission Impossible news.
Yeah, so reportedly, they're talking about Alec Baldwin and Henry Cavill coming back. When I first heard that, I was like,
what?
They both died. Like, not only did they like
Spoilers?
Henry Cavill.
Spoilers?
I suppose. Whatever. If you haven't seen it yet, you don't care.
That's true.
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, he died at quite a gruesome death, and Alec Baldwin was certainly dead as well. So,
Yep.
But apparently it's for flashback sequences, which is interesting to me as far as Henry Cavill's character is concerned, because he was kind of just a newly set up character. It's not like him and Ethan had history. So
right. Yeah. I mean, they might do like I hope it's not like they're going to go into like some sort of, I don't know, secret society that he was a part of or something. Wasn't he part of something?
Well, yeah, he was like the head. He was that, I forget the character's name, but like there was like the leader of
the lapel.
Yeah, something crazy. Right.
It started with an L. I'm like 90% sure.
But yeah, so I'm thinking this might just be like a fraternity they've created and started, and they're all going to do these. You know what I mean? It's just...
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like
we all need work.
We're all just going to do this. We have a good time.
Yeah. I can't go back to the DC universe.
That could be it.
Alec Baldwin's like, I can't do anything but Trump now.
You know, I'm so grateful that he did not shave his mustache for Superman, because he chose the better movie, or I suppose they wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him, but you got to think that there's part of him who's like, yeah, this is a good call.
Good, I fucked him. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's news. The only other thing I have to bring to the table this week is I just saw that James Gandolfini's son is going to play a young Tony Soprano in the Sopranos prequel for HBO.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know how good of an actor he is. I looked at his picture. I didn't recognize him. Yeah, that's about it. That's all that's fit to print, but it's kind of cool. I mean,
yeah. I mean, nice to see more Hollywood royalty.
No, I don't know if he's...
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know if he's the main character, though. It could just be like he's a character.
I would think that John Bernthal is going to be your main character.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, that's who you hang your hat on. I mean, he's... As far as we know, he's the biggest star they have, other than
Vera Farmiga.
Other than Vera Farmiga. I'd say they're pretty close at this point.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's news. That's all I got.
So what I saw, and I found this just crazy, Jason Reitman, who is the son of the original director of the original Ghostbusters films.
Like the arguably perfect first Ghostbusters movie?
Yeah. Yep. He is writing and directing a new Ghostbusters film that is set in the original's universe.
Which is awesome.
And
if it's good.
Yes, I'm excited for that, and it's going to feature a new team of Ghostbusters, 2 males, 2 females.
Okay,
and apparently even Bill Murray is on board for this movie.
I saw a picture of him today. They have a set photo or a picture of him in his costume. I don't know if it's just a fake bullshit picture. He like wore it to a convention or some show or something, but It was old man Bill Murray in the OG Ghostbusters outfit.
Good. I mean, I'm excited for this.
It's a little worrisome though. Like,
why?
Because it could suck.
It could.
And you
suck.
don't have Egon.
You don't, and that really is going to suck. And I wonder what that's going to be like. How they're going to address it. I mean, they're probably going to do something tasteful.
No, I would imagine they would.
But it does suck because you don't get all 4 of them.
Well, he was like one of the brains behind Ghostbusters too, and
right?
Directed Caddyshack, all sorts of shit. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's good that they're just completely, let's pretend that other thing didn't happen.
Well, you see, Leslie Jones isn't a fan of that, actually. She actually took to Twitter about it. She goes, so insulting. Like, fuck us. We didn't count. D-I-N-T. Didn't. I can't even say
Maybe
it.
she needed that extra character.
Maybe she did. It's like something Trump would do. Trump voice. Gonna redo the Ghostbusters. Better with men. We'll be huge. Those women ain't Ghostbusters. Ugh. So annoying. Such a dick move. And I don't give a fuck. I'm saying something.
Okay,
and no,
well,
she didn't need that extra character because she had 2 exclamation points at the end.
Well, you need that extra exclamation point. She probably weighed the
She weighed
character.
the importance. It's like poetry.
Yeah.
You have like every, I get you.
But well, she's clearly delusional because your movie is not a classic.
No, it was not well received.
It wasn't well received.
It didn't make money.
It took place in a different timeline, so you can't have both sets of characters in it.
Exactly, unless you're going to do a Spider-Verse thing. But even if you did that, you wouldn't do that because it wasn't a successful movie. Nobody wants to see it.
Right.
So, and nobody really liked these characters. So what did you it happens with every single reboot ever.
Yeah.
Nobody's acknowledging the Amazing Spider-Man movies or the Batman and Robin films.
That's a good point.
I mean, if it sucks...
people are pissed. Yeah, like Andrew Garfield comes out like, this is some bullshit.
It's like...
But they've got this extra thing to hang their hat. You know, they can say, oh, it's a gender thing.
Yeah. I find that sickening because it's like it takes away any real criticism. You just paint somebody with that word... Oh, misogynist.
Well, wasn't that
sexist.
kind of their... Not that people weren't assholes when the trailer was first released.
I mean, you go on the YouTube section of that and you saw the comments. And it was just horrible.
But at the same time, there were also a ton of people who just thought the movie looked terrible.
Yeah.
And their kind of excuse for it was to turn it into this gender thing.
Yes.
When actually your movie just looked cartoony and bad.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised that she reacted that way.
I found it a little classless. It was unnecessary. Let's see what else. Oh, the Bumblebee movie. It's already made over 400 million worldwide.
Okay, so it's justified as its existence, I'm assuming?
I would wager at this point it's going to hit 500 million, but probably not go too much beyond that.
Okay.
But considering they reined in the expense on it or the budget on it, that's a pretty good solid hit.
Nice. So they'll get their sequel.
They're getting a sequel. And
the news is out.
Yeah,
this is new to me.
They're already working on a sequel. And apparently the rumor is right now is that they might want to bring in Optimus as kind of like a dual buddy thing. But I'm like,
hold on. So they're not doing the thing where it's like each movie is a different character. It's going to be Bumblebee 2.
Yes. That's where I'm kind of with you on that. Except what I would do is I would do like Bumblebee but anybody but Optimus. Anybody but
Optimus. But they know that's who everybody loves is Optimus.
But it's like Bumblebee and Jazz. Or I don't care. I don't care who you choose. Just build up some of the other characters so I give a shit. I already give a shit about Optimus. He's got that awesome voice.
Yeah, I liked Ironhide in the movies. He was the one I liked.
I didn't, you know what? Was Ironhide the one who he was like the rescue, like he was like a EMT kind of thing?
I don't think so. He might have been. He was a big bastard, like the big tough guy one. He died in 3. Spock killed him in 3.
Okay. They're just giant mounds of metal to me. They mean nothing.
I mean, I would have rather had them make these like anthology movies where each movie's a different character. That would have been cool.
I agree. Expand on the lore, spend more time with different characters.
But people love their Bumblebee, so
yeah. Well, I mean, you can do that, but like I said, we all know Optimus. It's just this feels like a play to get $1 billion to me.
Maybe it is.
It probably is. But if you're going to do this, you're just going back to the old formula again.
I mean, it doesn't mean it has to. It can still be like a real movie, like Bumblebee.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
it's just I just want somebody else. You know,
all right.
We haven't spent enough time with other people. Let's see.
Peter Cullen though, as Optimus's voice, is always a welcome thing to hear in the theater. I would say
that's true. Oh, so we also got a trailer for one of your most anticipated movies, John Wick 3.
Oh, yes. John Wick 3.
Parabellum.
He's killing someone with a book in the mouth, it looked like, in one scene.
You know what I noticed in this was they backed off on the action a little bit.
It looks like a John Wick movie.
It does.
It does.
But they didn't give you some of that crazy action that you got in the first movie. I feel like they're holding off on that. There was some good shit in there.
I mean, you got to think that motorcycle scene with the swords is going to be pretty cool.
I'm really pumped for that.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I mean, this was they did have the little clip where he like takes the rifle and just throws it at someone's head. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't look good.
It does.
but the stick out thing, or the most crazy thing about it was I was like, wow, these movies are just so colorful and neon lit.
I like the look of them.
They're really slick looking. And this one looks maybe the best. Like visually, it looks maybe the best so far.
It does look really good. They've got a nice style going for those. It's almost like a comic book feel to it. Very bright colors, neons, and contrast against the night sky. All that kind
contrast.
Of shit. Right.
Yeah, I mean, being like somebody who does a lot of drawing and is very much into art, I was very impressed with that.
Halle Berry.
Yeah,
you see people like complaining about it, but it's like it's John Wick.
It's not a serious movie,
right?
Like, I mean. It could be good. She could be bad. I don't know what to expect from her at this point in her career. That's where I'm at with her.
Yeah, I've never been like a huge fan of hers, I guess.
No, I mean,
I don't see her and get repulsed by the idea of her being in John Wick.
Right. No, I agree.
But yeah, it's got Angelica Houston in it too, in some sort of a role.
Yeah.
Is this a trilogy, or is this going to continue?
I hope it's a trilogy, because you can keep going, You could,
right.
But for me, this is the coolest premise that John Wick has had so far.
Where he's on the run and everybody...
This is The Warriors, but John Wick. Yeah. And that was the movie that I wanted out of John Wick 2, which was why I was a little disappointed with it.
Well, okay.
Because the last 20 minutes of that movie
was fucking amazing.
It
is true. So I hope it's like a John Wick trilogy.
Yeah.
But I hope that this world continues.
Agreed.
Because it is fucking cool.
Agreed.
And apparently there's a Stars show for the Continental coming at some point.
Oh,
which is a great idea, I think.
Yes, I agree completely.
But yeah, I'm excited for this one. May, right?
Yes.
May like 19th or something? I think I nailed it maybe right there.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like 3 weeks after Avengers.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the biggest competition in May. Except for Aladdin.
Oh, God. Aladdin's going to probably kill it, though. Disney, how much money are they going to make in May? $1.5 billion just in May?
It's going to be another like $5-6 billion year for them. It's going to be ridiculous.
It is nuts.
Breaking news as of today.
Oh, geez.
Bryan Singer, once again in some trouble.
Oh, boy. Did he
touched some little boys again.
Again, or is it like coming up from the past?
It's older stuff.
But they did get him on it.
It seems like it.
Okay.
It seems like, so this seems like the real reason he was fired.
That's what I always kind of assumed with like the Me Too shit going on.
Yes, back when he was fired from Bohemian, everybody thought that, and then he said, "Oh, it's a family emergency," which is bullshit, absolute bullshit. But apparently, it was supposed to be published in Esquire, but then it was pulled, and we don't quite know all the reasons why the article was pulled. But now it's been published, and it's quite a few guys saying there was rape at the age of 13 or 15.
I mean, this rumor about him's been going around for a long time.
Yes.
Nobody thanked him at the Globes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
everybody's making sure to distance themselves.
Yes. You knew this was coming.
You did.
And good riddance.
I mean, I'm going to...
I mean, you don't know, but...
Yeah, I want to be fair and do the whole innocent until proven guilty thing, but I mean, I'm a part of society too. I'm right there with everybody.
I know. Well, it's like I watched that R. Kelly show.
Yeah.
And it's like he's never been convicted of anything, but am I going to watch that fucking show and think that all these people are bullshitting?
Right.
Like,
right.
I doubt it.
Well, Singer, do you want me to read Singer's response to this?
Oh, what did he say? Yes, read it.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know if you want to hear
Professor X told me that
that it was okay to start a school for children that I could touch.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, sorry. Serious topic. It is a serious topic.
Oh, you got to be able to bring some levity to anything.
Right, yeah. But there's, so he went out and said, the last time I posted about this subject, Esquire magazine was preparing to publish an article written by a homophobic journalist who has a bizarre obsession with me dating back to 1997. After careful fact-finding and in consideration of the lack of credible sources, Esquire chose not to publish this piece of vendetta journalism. That didn't stop this writer from selling it to The Atlantic. It's sad that The Atlantic would stoop to this low standard of journalistic integrity. Again, I am forced to reiterate that this story rehashes claims that bogus lawsuits filed by a disreputable cast of individuals willing to lie for money or attention. And it is no surprise that, with Bohemian Rhapsody being an award-winning hit, this homophobic smear piece has been conveniently timed to take advantage of its success. Yeah. What does Bohemian Rhapsody, a movie that wants you to fight against homophobia, have to do?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, I don't see the connection. I also like the fact that
a homophobe is like upset that Bohemian Rhapsody did so well and they're coming after Bryan Singer. Is that the...
I think maybe that's the line of logic.
Okay.
I guess maybe that kind of holds up if maybe, but at the same time, I love the fact that somebody came after me means they're a homophobe. Really?
Well, that's kind of what Kevin Spacey, like, he tried to like play that card in a way too. Remember his first statement was like, I'm going to come out now. It's like, nobody gives a shit if you're gay, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you kind of picked the wrong part of that message that was coming out in that you ignored the rape bit, man.
Yeah. The part where you invited Anthony Rapp at like 14 years old over to your party and tried to manipulate him into doing it with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm gay. That's he painted every gay person as like, guys, come on, I'm gay. That's what we do.
Yeah, come on. We just, we attack everyone we see.
Right.
It's like, dude, really? I don't think that's the case.
And we never talked about the YouTube video that Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah,
that was fucking crazy.
Y'all missed me. Y'all.
Like double speak. He's speaking as the character and as Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. You don't like me, but you need me around because you need me in your life. You're just like, wait, what are you doing here, man?
What was really horrible is my first instinct is like, you're a fucking creep. Then as I'm watching the show or the thing, I'm like, I wish you were in that last season of House of Cards. But you don't deserve to be, so fuck off.
Yeah.
What a fucking creep.
Yeah.
That is fucking creepy. I mean, we don't have to spend too much time on it, but that was fucking bizarre.
I just don't get, I'm not one of these people who's like, Hollywood is the home of all the pedophiles and all the creeps and all the... I don't prescribe to that because I don't think that just because you got into film or television means that you're some sort of sexual deviant. I think that's reductionist.
Sure, but the narcissism of some of those people, that's just like, where you're like, obviously, like, he thought to an extent that this isn't that bad in his social circles if he's fucking willing to do that, or he's just a lunatic.
I was going to say, I think the isolation and narcissism that celebrities are privy to, I think that creates and the power that they have.
Right. They can just go on any instinct they think that pops into their fucking head.
Yeah. It creates like the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Yeah.
Which is different than saying everybody came out to Hollywood because they were already perverts.
That's not what I think. Right.
And I also don't think that just because somebody gets power means that they're a pervert.
No.
I think it's the same as like, I think if we go to, DC, we're going to find some pervs there too, because it's a power thing.
Sure.
I don't think it's a Hollywood thing.
You're right.
So that's where I'm at.
I mean, we know there's been some congressmen that are pervy.
Yeah, no way.
Good old Anthony Weiner. I mean, the guy can't stop sending dick pics. He's in jail now for like some sort of, yeah.
I mean,
then you have like...
it's politics, so we're already going to do it. You don't have to look further than the White House.
It's true.
You just don't.
Yeah.
So
2 of the last 4 presidents have their closet.
Yeah, their claws all over the place. I was going to finish that for you, but that's what I got for the news. So I guess we're going to do shit we watched.
Yeah. So let's see. I finished The Office. Just start with that.
Awesome.
Overall, great show.
Yeah.
I loved it. Now, after sorry, go ahead.
Would you agree with me that it's one of the best sitcoms of all time?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I don't think it's quite Seinfeld. I would say I like something like Curb Your Enthusiasm maybe a little better, just because that is basically the same kind of observational bullshit.
Right.
You know? But yes, it's very, very good. I don't watch like sitcoms.
Okay.
Like the last sitcoms, I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, if you can consider that a sitcom.
I would consider it.
So.
Yeah.
And then I watched Seinfeld. Frasier. Yep. But yeah, those are old. So like,
but the problem is,
it's better than Parks and Rec.
It is,
which I liked.
It is better than Parks and Rec. I would say that overall, the sitcom is in a major slump. The only decent one that's out right now, and it's not even close to Parks and Rec even, is The Goldbergs.
Okay.
In my estimation.
Sure.
So, yeah, The Office is a great show. But what did you think of the last 2 seasons?
I thought that the last 2 seasons were okay, but boy, does Steve Carell's presence is it missed.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking great.
Yes.
He's hilarious.
Yep.
You know, they try to do some things with other cringy moments and cringy characters, but it doesn't quite work as well.
Yep.
They do a lot of like relationship shit.
What about James Spader coming in?
He was the best.
He was so
the best
great.
part.
He was so great.
Yeah.
I'm the reptile king, motherfucker. You don't even know my real name.
He was fantastic.
Oh my God, he's awesome.
He's always great.
Yes.
But yeah, so I was upset in the last season he wasn't really in it.
Yep.
Was it Robert California?
Like he goes, like Dwight goes to his place and he's wrestling a dude.
Well, it just sucks because to me that was the chance to like, okay, if you can get James Spader to just move into the Michael role and change the dichotomy of the show.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done.
The problem with James Spader's, I liked him a lot, but for a general audience, he is too abrasive.
He's just so like dry.
He's
and
such a monster.
Weird.
What about that episode where they were trying to find Michael's replacement? They had all those great guys come in, like Ray Romano, Jim Carrey.
Yep. That was pretty good.
Ricky Gervais came in for a quick little. Seeing those two, the two Michaels meet each other, that was a good little moment.
Yeah, it was good. I think my next project's going to be to watch the British one.
Right. Yeah. I don't like it as much personally.
See, I've heard others say it's better.
I've heard that too. But it's the 2 camps.
Yeah, I like the end, like the actual ending. I liked. I wished, and I understand why they didn't, because it's like Michael's not part of the show anymore, but they bring him back for like this little bit role in the final episode.
You kind of wish that you got a little more with him.
More of him, right? Yeah. And I felt like he was out of it. Like you could tell in the performance and the way they wrote the character, it was like
he had some good lines in it though.
I mean,
like it's like all my kids grew up and married each other.
Yeah, but that's like his one like moment, right? I mean,
and That's What She Said.
Yes, there was a That's What She Said. But yeah, Dwight's ending was great.
Yep.
One of my favorite moments in the whole series actually happened when Dwight is like tricked into believing he's on a radio show.
Yes, that's a great bit.
Fucking hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay, the ending, but overall the show's great.
Yeah, I like the ending because I like that they tied it all together with the documentary thing. That was a really nice way to do it. Some people didn't like the subplot of like Jim and Pam finally having problems for the real time.
I liked that.
I liked it a lot because it was like, that's real.
Right.
Like, and that was cool because they were storybook before that.
What I will say is I believe that watching these binging shows like this takes away a lot of the tension, because I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm all like the first 2 seasons I'm watching it like, oh, just get together already. But I can't imagine what it was like for like 2 years doing that.
Agreed.
So there's that. I mean, there's just moments where you know that had you have seen it months apart, it would have been
crazy.
Yeah, right. So
yeah,
overall great. I give it an A. It's an A show.
Yep. It's a good show. It's a great show. What else did you watch?
Let's see here. I watched the rest of that R. Kelly thing.
Okay.
Fucking crazy, man.
More pee?
No, the pee thing was like the third episode they went into that whole story, but like there's an episode where this woman goes, like, she confronts her daughter who's staying at this hotel who she hasn't seen in like 2 years because R. Kelly has had her like in lockdown, basically. Like he has manipulated these women into thinking they can't leave. It's fucking bizarre. And some of them he met when they were like really young. Those are the ones I feel horrible for.
Right.
I still feel bad for the other ones because he clearly knows the women to target with his, abuse or whatever.
Right.
But some of them, it's like, you're 33 years old. Like you've heard these news stories for 10 years. Like you're a radio DJ is one of them.
Right.
It's like, how did you end up with him? But at the same time, it's like, you don't want to say that because, I mean, you can't be in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
But the show is fucking crazy. I mean, the way it's gross. The fact that he's still out there is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
I mean,
and like the show ends and there's still this girl they give an update on who, like, the parents they've been interviewing for the show and like, haven't seen their daughter in 3 years and shit.
Oh,
it's bizarre. I don't understand it.
It makes you wonder, like, what is up with the U.S. criminal system?
Well, once they're 18, what are they supposed? What can you do?
Right, but I mean, if he's holding people, and I mean, it sounds like there's maybe some new evidence here. Like, why,
Well, hold on though. So
can we do something?
He's holding people, but like this last, like they're in different cities. Like they can leave the fucking like. What are the cops supposed to do? There's a scene where the parents go to the studio because they think their daughter's there,
right?
And they call the cops, and the cops are like, "Listen. Like, she's 18. I can't trespass into this studio based on you saying that, like,
So basically, he not only is a creep, but he also found a legal loophole to be a creep.
I mean, he's just manipulative.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not being forced at gunpoint to stay, but they're feeling like they're scared to leave. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's made them feel worthless and that he's the only one that,
Yeah, it's psychological warfare.
Right. It's crazy. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. And the dude is like, it's just fucking weird. He was huge. Like, it's crazy too, because if this all would have gone down, like if the internet was around and like when we were like, 20 years ago, whatever, when Space Jam came out.
Jam, yeah.
That was his big, fly.
I believe I can
fly, not fly like an eagle, duh. But yeah, if the internet was around then, he would have been fucking buried then. As far as the public,
Yeah.
But I don't know. The internet was around, but it wasn't what it is today. So.
Right.
But yeah, it was a good show. I'd highly recommend watching it. It's creepy. It's fucked up, but he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about sitcoms for a little bit.
Oh, you got one?
It's a terrible segue coming from R. Kelly. I kept watching Kim's Convenience, that Korean sitcom. Season 1 was pretty damn good. I thought it was a pretty enjoyable time. Season 2 has been a little bit of a step down.
Okay.
So
those sitcoms, man.
It's weird. It's Season 1 had a nice quaintness about it. It was almost like you were watching like a bunch of friends do like a low budget thing together, but they had a lot of good writing and a lot of heart. Season 2, it feels like it got a little bigger and some production things may have gotten better, but the writing got worse.
Got it.
But the actors are still really good. The matriarch and the patriarch of the family are fucking amazing. I'd like to see them in more roles because they can nail the humor, but they are also really good emotional actors too. So it's one of those sitcoms that can be touchy-feely too at the same time. So still recommend it, but season 2 is a bit of a letdown. What else do we have? Oh, I watched a Dragon Ball movie.
Oh, new Dragon Ball movie.
Yep, the big one that came out in theaters. It actually won the box office on Wednesday. It's opening day.
It's got good reviews, like decent reviews.
Yeah, I would call it a C+, B- movie.
All right.
So by default, it's the best movie of the year so far.
You thought it was going to suck though, right?
I kind of did.
Right.
because this is Dragon Ball Z had a spin-off series called Dragon Ball Super. It's a sequel series. I thought I still think it's not a well done anime. It's got really awful writing, really shitty, all over the place animation. No characters have arcs.
But this movie, they really kicked it into high gear for.
They did. The animation is fucking great, man. And
it better be when you're coming out with a movie.
Yeah, the story was okay. The voice acting was all good. Like I said, the fight scenes are fucking crazy. But I have I have three giant nitpicks. One is they have this music in there that randomly, you remember Power Rangers?
Sure.
And there was a point where the Green Ranger came in and he had his own theme song. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember what it was.
Go Green Ranger, go. That's what it was.
You should just clip that in.
Maybe put the clip in. Maybe cut out their voice, put mine in, because it's that fucking good. But they did that for this, where it was like, go Vegeta, go. And I was like, this is terrible and distracting. Please stop.
Every animated feature should just take a cue from the Transformers movie.
Yeah.
And try and make that their soundtrack.
And then
the 80s Transformers movie.
Right, absolutely. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, well,
not everybody does. But and then there was a bit where I feel like they do this to save money, but they make the characters CGI, and it's kind of like this cel-shaded animation.
Okay.
And it's really noticeable. I want to see the hand-drawn animation. It sticks out like a sore thumb when I've got basically a video game cutscene.
Hold on.
The screen.
So that bothers you here, but not like in the Spider-Man movie. It was better done as far as the mixing of different types of animation.
The thing is that was all mixed all at the same time, all the time.
Okay.
This is like randomly. It just switches to, it's like
if there's like a battle scene with a panning camera or some shit.
Yeah, they did this thing. Well, and it wouldn't be that bad if it was like a far away wide shot where they're fighting far away.
Right.
But if it's close up and somebody's elbow comes like right in front of the camera, I hate it because I could just tell, and it's so noticeable. And It's like, you just went cheapy on this. You could have just hand drawn this, and it would have been painstaking, time-staking, whatever. But you CGI'd it because it's cheap. And I hated that. And then the last thing that was a bother that knocked it down quite a bit for me was I liked the fact that Goku bopped his head as a kid, and he went from being like one of the many, many terrible Saiyans to being like a nice kid and being a good Saiyan. That's what separated him.
Was that he bopped his head?
Well, and because before that he was like a bad kid. Okay. Because he's programmed to destroy the planet.
Is this like a reimagining? Is this like an alternate timeline or something?
No. It's a retconning. It's a retconning of certain things. They made his father loving and caring before they sent him off. They did the Superman thing.
Got it.
Which I don't like that. It should have just been, it's part of a warrior race. Your dad literally doesn't give a fuck about you because you're a warrior race.
Right.
So he was like, oh, my son's leaving.
He's like cool. A Spartan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't care. Now they had to make him a loving father, and I hate it.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. So that was my big theater viewing, other than our other review for
this week.
For this week, yeah.
Let's see here. What else did I watch? I watched 2 Travolta movies. The first one, and we'll save the other one for second because we've been talking about the other one for a while, and I know you watched it too. But the first one was called I Am Wrath.
Okay.
So plot is John Travolta plays, a guy who's like a manager of like oil or something. I don't know, but he comes home from a trip. He's in the parking lot of the airport with his wife, played by Rebecca De Monet.
Oh, okay.
These 3 thugs come up and they stick him up. They kill his wife and run away. And he's like injured or whatever. So, he exacts revenge. It's a John Wick movie. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. It's got the...
he's the Punisher.
It's got that Christopher Malini or whatever his name is from SVU, Law and Order SVU in it.
Yeah, I don't watch that show.
Okay. Well, he's in it. He's like his old buddy, but basically John Travolta, you come to find out, used to have a different life. And he left that life for his wife.
No way.
So
he's got a special set of skills.
It is fucking hilarious how bad it is.
Really?
Oh my God. Just a blast to watch.
Does it have bad action in it? Like, it sounds like it's supposed to be...
The action is awful.
It sounds like it's supposed to be an action movie.
Yep. So yeah, it is. Okay. So there's a few action scenes.
Okay.
One of them, he like has a guy on the ground. The guy said, "Maybe if your wife wasn't such a mouthy bitch," or whatever to him. And he like looks all badass. They show the camera on John Travolta looking all badass and like shooting his gun down at the ground.
Yeah.
And like the camera cuts. Like, okay, shot.
Yeah.
Travolta shoots.
Yeah.
Reverse shot. The bullet hits the guy's head. It's like that bullet took like 3/4 of a second to go 3 feet into the guy's head.
Oh, right.
Okay, there's another scene where Travolta, the SVU guy, he owns like a barber shop. That's his cover now. Like one of those old school barber shops where they give you a shave and stuff. And Travolta comes in.
Oh, you told me about this. I'm excited.
And he sits down and gets all lathered up by this guy. And you're like, ooh, is he like, he doesn't trust this guy. Is this guy going to cut him? Like, what's going to happen here?
Right.
And you got a shot, you got a camera transition, one camera to the other. And in one shot, his face is completely shaven. Like his face is full of lathery. They're talking.
Yep. Like
the conversation doesn't have like a gap.
Okay.
You know, and all of a sudden Travolta's like done getting shaved. I mean, it is sloppy. It is a fucking sloppy movie. And it's funny because like when it started, I'm like, oh Christ, this is going to be terrible. Not only because it's John Travolta, but like it starts and there's like 6 production companies that it starts with, you know, Jesus. In association with blah, blah, blah. You're like sitting there for like 45 seconds, like watching those little logos pop up on the screen.
Too many cooks.
Right. So I looked this movie up. This was originally planned to be directed by William Friedkin, who did The Exorcist. And it was going to star Nicolas Cage. So this was like a completely different movie. Instead, it was directed by the guy who did one of the best Nightmare on Elm Street movies, actually, Chuck Russell. But it was amazing. I highly recommend it as a solid F.
Solid F.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah, solid F. And his hairline in this, by the way, like... The wig they try to get away with in this is awful. When you see a fight scene and the camera's behind Travolta, it's not him at all. You can just tell.
Oh.
It is so bad. But yeah, I mean, you know, he kills all the bad guys and it's John Wick.
Okay.
Right. There's a scene. Okay, one more part I have to talk about.
Okay.
So he shows up. These killers are after him, right? Basically his wife had like betrayed someone or whatever, or was going to release some info on the mayor or the governor or whatever the fuck it was. But he shows up at the house and his daughter and her husband just got shot at. And he shows up at the house and like pulls up to him and whatever. And she's like freaking out. Like, what did you get us into, Dad? And whatever. And he's like, look, you're not in any danger. You'll be like, nothing's going to happen to you, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, something just did. And it's like you wrote into your own movie how dumb your main character was. But yeah, it was terrible. But yeah, I'm assuming, are we queued up for the other Travolta movie yet? Or
I do want to share one thing that I saw.
All right.
Keanu Reeves had a little known movie that came out last year with Winona Ryder.
Oh, Jesus. You watched that?
Destination Wedding. It had something like a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. I rented it. And I didn't think it was that bad.
Really?
It was shot in 10 days.
Okay.
It was written and directed by the same guy.
Okay.
It's very low budget. Lots of just long takes of Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves acting across each other in a two shot.
Okay.
But it's impressive because you see how long they're going in a single take acting off each other. It's like real acting. It's not just like, reverse shot every time. Did
Keanu earn back any of his respect after replicas?
Absolutely.
All right.
His character is this dour, negative, he just has this massive disdain for humanity and relationships in general.
Okay.
And Winona Ryder. So the idea is that they're going to a destination wedding somewhere in California, I believe. And Winona Ryder is the husband's ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance.
All right.
And Keanu Reeves is the husband's brother. They've never met each other because Keanu Reeves doesn't like his brother, and Winona Ryder, I guess his brother wasn't too proud of her, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
The dialogue is pretty fantastic. It's very dark. It's a dark comedy. It's pretty short in my estimation.
Bonus points.
And
especially for a movie like this.
It's really interesting because there's one character who has like 2 or 3 lines. It's like the maid. She's the only other person you hear talk in the whole movie.
Okay.
Everybody else they talk to, they do away from the camera, and then they come back and they talk to each other. It's really, I liked it quite a bit. Actually, it's like a B minus kind of movie.
Sure.
But the thing is like, there are some people, there was a guy, Rolling Stone. He did, Peter Travers.
Good old Peter Travers.
He did a review of it. He missed the point of the movie. He was talking about how like, oh, they're so dour, you'll hate them all or whatever, and they never have a moment of levity. And I'm like, that's the whole damn point, is the fact that they're dour, angry, bitter people. They found each other at a wedding, and they make a good couple, and they make each other better. That's the whole damn point. You can't say, oh, it's what they are. You know
that's
the thing,
what the movie is. Right.
You know the thing that the movie's trying to do? Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just not his cup of tea.
It might that's fine, but don't dock it points for being the thing it is. You have to judge it based on how well it's doing the thing that it's trying to do. And I thought the thing it was trying to do, it did pretty well.
Right.
So, yeah, that's my thought.
Gotti.
Let
me tell you something. New York is the greatest city in the world. My city. I was a kid in these streets, and I made it to the top. I made my bones doing a piece of work for Don Carlo Gambino. Like that, I became a made man.
Gotti is not a hottie.
It is fucking awful. That I Am Wrath movie,
yeah.
As far as like, and Replicas was the other one I was thinking of as I was watching it, because I'm like, oh, how does it get worse than this? Like, at least those are like coherent.
Right.
Like, like there's a fucking arc and there's a story and like there's going from point A to point B and it makes sense.
Yep.
Gotti is fucking, I was confused watching it.
Oh,
and it had nothing to do with like
you're
missing
not,
shit.
Yeah,
it
you're
was
not
just
slow.
It was just that like the movie is fucking everywhere. What time are we in? Wait a minute. When is this? Who's he talking about? Who's he killing? Who did he kill? Why is he in court? What is he doing?
I stopped it 5 minutes in. And I text you saying I'm 5 minutes in and there have been 6 scenes.
It's so bad. 6
scenes in 5 minutes.
I think this would have been the worst of the year if I would have done my list.
I agree. Because it's not even like, it's horrible, but it doesn't grab your attention because you're never grounded in anything. Like Replicas, like it's like a coherent story.
There's
it's
a story,
terrible,
right?
But this is all over the place. You're never grounded in a scene, and you don't even know who the characters are. Also, the first shot of Travolta turning around being like, they say this city is something, talking directly to you in this just horrible caricature of oh my God.
Well, and then they cut to like flat, like real footage of Gotti. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to do that. You just reminded me that it's not him.
Yeah. They're like, they cut to him and they're like, everybody in the streets like, Gotti he's the man of the people. Oh, it's Gotti and the murder on. This is my accent for
By
these
the way,
people.
how much money did the Gotti family use to fund this movie? They had to have.
Right.
The movie is it's trying to make him out to be like this family man who like got a raw deal or something. Yeah. And it is terrible. But to be honest, that's what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
But I had no clue what was going on half the movie.
Yep.
Like there were like it's just individual scenes of stuff.
Yep.
With no like connecting thread whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like I know nothing more about John Gotti after watching the movie.
I knew literally nothing about John Gotti going in, so I did learn stuff, but at the same time I'm like, this is standard mob stuff. Even to the point where I was like, you know what? We haven't had a car bombing yet. Boom, called it right when it happened.
It was terrible.
But I could not believe that, like, there's no central theme. There's no central sort of like character arc that happens. His acting, he has no chemistry with his son, who's like probably the next most developed person in the movie.
Or his wife,
who's his real wife.
Yeah.
My God. And then there's a bit in it where he's like you're supposed to laugh it off with him. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll knock out. He's talking to his wife. Don't worry, I'll knock out your teeth. You'll look better. Or something like that. You're like, what? This is supposed to be endearing behavior?
It was bad. Yeah, the son thing was terrible. Like I said, I mean, my biggest problem with it is just like there were multiple courtroom scenes where I'm like, what's he in court for?
Yeah.
Like, when did this happen?
Yep.
They'll be like, oh, and then he, and then there's one scene where he's like, oh, did you let him go or did you let him off or easy or whatever? And John Gotti's like, yeah. And then they show a guy getting shot in an alley and you're like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Was that who he was talking about?
That was who he was talking about. It was supposed to show that he was badass.
Lost me, man. I had no fucking clue. This is one like who was it that did the prequel edit, the That 70s Show guy?
Topher Grace.
Okay, I want Topher Grace to take this movie.
He can't save this movie?
No, not save it.
Oh, okay.
Not save it. But I do think if you
make it a coherent movie.
All you have to do
from okay.
Yeah. No,
gotcha.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, the movie is like if you haven't seen this, I haven't seen anything like this. Maybe ever. It was fucking bizarre. Like the decisions they made as far as like you've got like the scene of him as an old man talking to his son and like typically that's like where the narrative is coming from, like sharing his regrets or whatever. But that is like, not it at all. No. It's a conversation about you shouldn't take a plea deal. Yeah. And it's cut up throughout the entire movie. It should have just been one scene.
But there's nothing in there that really leads you to the other scenes. There's not
nothing to do with it.
It reminds me of that time. No. Nothing like that. There's no segues. And I know that we're terrible with segues, but holy shit, there are no segues in this.
It's a joke.
It's a movie that should have been a TV series. It covers his whole life.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, but you don't learn anything real.
That scene when his son got killed?
Yeah, and you're chuckling because it's not scary. Oh yeah, and how was that edited? Like the fucking car is coming forever.
It was comical.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna adjust my mirror. Gosh, it's so bright out. Oh!
And you just don't care at all. And then they have the scene that really made me laugh when like the son hears Gotti down in the living room, like crying, and you're supposed to be like, he's got a heart. Yeah, it's terrible. Now, what's funny is there was an HBO movie, I believe it was HBO. It starred Armand Assante. If you don't remember him, he was the bad guy in the Stallone Judge Dredd. That's the actor.
Yeah.
He played Gotti. It was called Gotti, I believe.
Okay.
HBO. 100 times better than this.
Wow.
Like made for fucking cable television.
Yeah.
It was way better.
Oh,
this is a mess.
What I hated too was like they played some like the most stereotypical dialogue or stereotypical music that you could play for every time period. Hey, they're like, hey, in case you don't know what time it is, here comes.
No. But then they had that like New Year's party scene or whatever where the cops come and it's Pitbull playing. And you're like, what the fuck is this music I'm assuming this is playing at the party.
Also, like he's like they go up to the cops like, hey, what are you trying to do here? Trying to start we're celebrating America.
Yeah, right. It's terrible.
And everybody starts cheering like he's this hero. And I'm like, wait, really? Like this is like some society's hero? Like I heard that and I was like, who's cheering this man on?
They love him.
And I'm also like, what were they trying to do? What were the cops trying? I think they were doing it for fireworks' sake or what. I don't know. It's just this giant mangled mess of, you're right, you're so confused.
I had all the time. I was watching it with a buddy of mine here, and I'm looking over at him constantly like, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. Do you know what's happening? And he'd be like, I think that they're, I don't really know.
I watched it with a family member. And apologized 45 minutes in because I realized we still had over an hour to go.
It's unbelievable.
It's one of those movies where the time-space continuum gets broken for a little while, and you're trapped there for like a decade.
Well, it's almost like there are parts of the movie where you wouldn't be surprised if you like accidentally hit the rewind button and like press play again because you don't even know where you're at in the story.
Exactly.
You have no idea.
And because of that, it feels like over 3 hours long.
It's terrible.
But it's only 2 hours.
Now, I do want to, Alex, I do want to say that we weren't, there are people who enjoy this.
What?
Yes. And we're gonna play a clip from them now.
John Travolta, forget about it. He did an amazing job. He was phenomenal. There were times that you really weren't sure whether they were using a clip from the real Gotti or Travolta. John killed it. I loved the movie. It was excellent. It's a true gang. He really portrayed a true gangster.
I will build something nobody can destroy. One hell of a legacy to have. Wow. You take a year off. You want to hang out with me?
Do you know what you're doing to this family?
He really got the look, the feel, the emotions, the way he talks.
You show him what a man is. You show him what it takes to have this. Gotti, rated R.
So yeah, Alex, don't, people shouldn't just take our word for it. They should see it.
Also, that was one of my favorite, that brought up something new in me. Well, a new criticism, which was like this stupid, like, idea of pride being like something like masculine and something to be proud of, like this code of honor.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's ridiculous. You're a murderer and a thief.
No, but he just, he
did it for the community. The community.
The end of the movie, just the spoilers. It ends with like interviews with like people on the street when he got put away.
Yeah.
Like flipping out about how it's awful that Gotti got put away. It's like the fucker ran the mob.
Yeah. He killed tons of people.
Well, and you know what else is funny about this movie? Like they never went into like their racket.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really know.
We were just like,
based on the movie, it's like, okay, there's crimes happening, but are you going to show us like what you're doing? Like, there's the one big main boss who he doesn't like just because he doesn't like him.
We don't know anything about the guy. We meet him 3/4 of the way into the movie so that he can be killed.
We have no reason. We're like, well, wait a minute. Like, Gotti just hates this guy.
Yeah.
What did this guy do?
He's not part of the family.
Yeah.
He didn't earn it. His dad was doing it. Oh, you mean like your kid, Gotti? Is that what you mean?
Right. Yeah. It's terrible. But I mean, I think we've spent
one more bit. The more I think about this, the more I remember things. But there's a bit where his son comes in to drop off some money, and they're all playing poker or whatever at this place.
Oh,
and
my
there's
God.
There's music in the background. And then he has a conversation with a dude. And as the conversation starts, the music fades away. But the music was supposed to be music in the scene.
They fucked that up. Like I said, there's the Pitbull scene where it's like, wait a minute, this is the early 80s. How the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, how about when she's like, I'm 16, and she's played by like a 38-year-old woman.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
It was so bad.
Unbelievable. Also, I just love how like they play off like he's like, there's this giant joke that he's an abusive monster. Hey, shut your mouth. My kid will never dress up as a cop, not even for Halloween.
Oh my God, that scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, hilarious.
Just horrible, just a terrible, terrible movie. That would have been the worst of the year.
I think it was, yeah.
I think retroactively,
from a filmmaking perspective, like it's
retroactively,
wrong.
I'm putting that in my number one.
I would agree. It's the worst movie of the year.
Well, if we're going to be talking about, the people and what the people want, we want the Oscar talk.
Well, so, okay, now is this Tommy Wiseau or is this the Guinea character?
It's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B with a little bit of Christopher Walken put in just for fun.
Let's talk about the Oscars.
Yeah, let's do that.
The nominations came out as we're recording yesterday.
Yeah, still without a host.
Still without a host.
You know what's interesting about that? There is a rumor currently going around that back in the Oscars for 2013, they had the Avengers assemble because they wanted to get, viewers.
Sure, yeah.
Rumor is that they want to do something similar this year, kind of like a Marvel, and like maybe all of the hosts are Marvel characters. Like everybody introducing everything would be a Marvel actor. Not sure if I like that idea personally.
I don't care. Whatever they want to do.
But it seems so transparent. It's like, we need people to watch.
I'll tell you what, based on this nominations list that came out, if I didn't do this show, I would be refusing to watch this.
Really?
This is garbage. Come the fuck on.
I mean, I have some things that I am not happy about not being included, and I have some things that are included that are nominated that I'm not fans of. But overall, there are enough categories that I'm happy enough with that I'm like, this isn't the worst Oscars.
It's pretty fucking bad. I mean, for me, there's the sore thumb, which we'll get to. But I mean, what do you want to do? You want to start with Best Picture here?
Let's start with Best Picture.
So we've got Black Klansman, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice. Now, I can already guess that you think Roma is a load of shit.
Oh, Roma! It's black and white, and we've used a tripod, and it's a foreign film. It's so great. It's so great. Jackson, tell me how great it is.
It is great. That's one of 4 movies on this list that I think deserves to be in there.
Yeah, that's the one that does not deserve to be there, in my opinion.
Okay, all right. That's our disagreement.
It's not the one, because in all honesty, Black Panther wasn't even the best comic book movie of the year.
Right. Well, that's just it. So I liked Black Klansman. I don't think it's Best Picture worthy.
Agreed.
Bohemian Rhapsody is a bland, generic
That's
fucking
a joke
movie.
for that being nominated. No.
So, yeah, I would say that The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, or A Star Is Born is what I'm rooting for.
I can't believe that Vice was nominated either. Like,
it's
Vice
political.
Vice is fine.
I mean, let's just start here. This is maybe I'll piss people off, but this is a political fucking list. You've got,
I would say they're covering every base that they possibly can.
They've got the homosexuality angle with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep.
They've got the black people angle, and they've got the we hate Dick Cheney angle.
I mean, if we go through, we've got, I mean, it's not just every angle, though. It's every like genre that normally gets one, too.
That's true, too. Yeah.
Because it's like you've got your political movie in Vice. You've got your musical about Hollywood or about the music industry, which is a nice stand-in for Hollywood, in A Star Is Born. You've got your foreign black and white film, Roma. You've got your feel-good family film that has something to say, Green Book. You've got your period piece British one, which is The Favorite. You've got your music rockumentary, which is Bohemian Rhapsody. You've got your black movie. I mean, that's not really, it's another time period piece too. But
Black
you've got
Klansman.
with a political message again.
And then Black Panther's the black superhero movie, so
which is dual because it fits the black. We want a black narrative because hashtag Oscars so white pissed them off so much. And they want to show that, hey, we can still nominate things that are popular.
This is going to sound bad, I guess, but I don't really fucking care. Does anyone believe that if Black Panther, I'm sorry, it's another Marvel movie, which they're good. It's a really good Marvel movie.
It's a really good movie, yeah.
There's been plenty of fucking Marvel movies that never made it close to getting on here.
I mean, in all honesty, I liked, and if you still want the black angle, you can go with Into the Spider-Verse. I would say that's a better comic book movie.
Yeah, it's really good. That's true.
It's really good.
But you know what? This was a huge movie, and this is a perfect example. I know they lobbied for this hard.
Oh,
they wanted this in there.
Probably.
So yeah, I mean,
I think Infinity War is a better movie.
Now, if Black Panther won this,
I'd be all on board.
I'd be happy because we'd be a superhero movie. Yeah, right.
We'd be burning down the establishment that is the Oscars.
But there's no way that it.
No, it's not winning.
Fucking Dark Knight wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
Right.
Give me a fucking break here.
Right. I mean, Black Panther is a good movie. And I would argue that almost every single one of these is at least a decent movie. I wouldn't say they're all decent.
Most of them are really good.
Yeah,
I would say
Bohemian Rhapsody and in my opinion, Roma are the two standouts of what are you doing?
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody is my least favorite movie on this list.
Yes,
it is.
And Vice is fine. Do you want to go to the actors?
Yes. Okay, let's do actors in a leading role. Okay, we've got Christian Bale
for Vice, Dick Cheney.
Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born. Willem Dafoe. I didn't see At Eternity's Gate.
I didn't see that either.
Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody and Vigo for Green Book. And I didn't see the Willem Dafoe one, but I have no problem with these people being nominated.
I think every single one of those is a good nomination. And, I've got my favorite, which is Bradley Cooper, but...
and I'm going Vigo. I'm pulling for Vigo in this one.
And Vigo would be like my second pull for the movie. Or for the award. Rami Malek was good too.
Yeah, no, he was fine. I liked him.
I'm actually fine with just about anybody winning this. I just have a favorite on it.
Right.
So.
No, that's kind of how I am too. Now,
actress in a leading role.
Yalitza Aparicio for Roma, which
Glenn Close for the wife.
I really liked Roma, but I don't know about that. Olivia Colman for The Favorite, Lady Gaga, A Star Is Born, and Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me, which I did not see. I didn't see that or The Wife yet.
Right.
Now, this one is where I'm pissed.
Right.
Because this is a joke.
I mean...
The Toni Collette needs to be on here.
I didn't even really like Hereditary is fine. I didn't really like it that much, but Toni Collette is it's like one of the cliche things. I realized it was going to be a cliche, but she's a revelation in the movie. She's fucking amazing.
It's one of, in my opinion, it's one of the best performances of the last few years.
Right.
And it's not on here.
Right.
It's just a joke. Ugh.
I don't get, and it
goes to show that, first of all, horror fans, they're never going to be represented up in that top best picture category, which is some bullshit.
Right.
But if she can't get nominated for that,
I
mean, what the fuck? Like, what is it going to take?
It's going to take for it to not be a genre piece. That's really what it is. That's the thing that drives me nuts about this is I'm like, we talked about this off air. The fact that genre movies really still get no love, and we're obsessed with this whole black directors and black movies and movies about different ethnicities and whatever don't get attention.
Sure.
Why don't we ever talk about the fact that there are entire genres that never get attention? How come is it that we just accept this is just the way the Oscars do it? If you're a genre movie, you're not a real movie.
Well, and you wonder too, now if Hereditary was made by a bigger studio, where they're actually lobbying for this, maybe she has a shot. But I can't believe she's not on. It's disgusting.
It's baffling. And that sort of takes us into a better category, I would say. Actor in a supporting role. So we got Mahershala Ali for Green Book, Adam Driver for Black Klansman, Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born, Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Sam Rockwell for Vice.
Now, Can You Ever Forgive Me again? The only one I haven't seen there.
Yep.
Sam Rockwell's the only one I can say for certainty doesn't deserve to be on that list.
I don't think he deserves to be there. The other three I all liked quite a bit.
Yes.
My favorite is Mahershala Ali.
Honest to God, any of those three win, I don't care. I'm happy for any of the three.
Yeah. I think they all deserve to be there. I just feel like Mahershala... Now, the problem is that Mahershala Ali, I think I had way more screen time than the other two.
Right. He's almost a co-star.
He's
They're
almost
both in star. That's why this doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked. Olivia Colman was brought up in the Best Actress list.
Yes.
Now, in Best Supporting Actress, when we get there, you have the other two stars of that movie, which is Rachel Weisz and
Emma Stone.
They're all like the same billing in the movie. I don't understand how this is decided. It just seems like an arbitrary bullshit decision.
I think the people in the movie, I think there are certain guidelines, like a certain amount of screen time has to be had to qualify as such a thing.
But you can still be supporting with a lot of screen time.
It sounds like it. But, I mean, the people who make the movie are the ones who decide what award they're going for with each actor or actress or whatever. Actress in a supporting role, Amy Adams for Vice, Marina de Tavira for Roma, Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk, which I still wish I had seen.
Yeah, it's still out. We can go see it.
Emma Stone for The Favorite and Rachel Weisz for The Favorite. I have a feel. I haven't seen The Favorite yet, but it's
great.
I think it's going to be one of those two. Amy Adams is the standout in What Are You Doing Here?
Yeah, let's swap her out for Claire Foy from First Man. That's what I would do.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Thought she was great.
Yeah.
I thought she...
I could see that.
But yeah, that's my opinion. I don't know how Amy Adams' performance is better than hers.
Like
she was good.
Fine. She's fine. She's good, but it's like, it wasn't amazing. Like,
it came out at the right time.
Yeah.
And it's about the right topic.
Yeah.
And they probably lobbied for it. But this whole list, it just goes to show you the audience feelings and shit, and even critics. It doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
I mean, if you were going with critics, Bohemian Rhapsody certainly isn't close to being the best movie of the year.
No, this is a strange thing because the Oscars are really paid for. They take these people who are on the Academy and they take them to nice little dinners and they get to meet the directors and the producers and the actors and their backroom handshakes, and it's corrupt. It's corrupt as fuck. And it's why I don't really, at the end of the day, respect the Oscars all that much.
Yeah, but when there's a performance you really like if Toni Collette was nominated, I would have been like rooting hard for her to win. You're upset when someone doesn't show up that's just getting fucking shafted.
Right. No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. And it's nice to see somebody who deserves to be celebrated being celebrated.
True. Yes.
But at the same time, I'm like, it's why I don't get too invested in it, because I'm like, I know it was good. She knows it was fucking good. And yeah, she got robbed. And we all fucking know it.
Yes.
But the thing that gets me the most is I'm pissed about, like, okay, Mission Impossible, not my favorite movie of the year, but like,
doesn't deserve a fucking single technical Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From a technical level, I get tired of cinematography. Everybody's like, oh, it's a pretty nice
it's the beautiful thing.
It's the beautiful shot.
Oh, Alpha wasn't on there.
Should have been.
Yeah.
Should have been. Both of those should have been nominated for cinematography in my estimation, because doing cinematography on an action sequence is really tough. And then to make them, visually coherent, but also visually interesting at the same time is hard.
Well, this is why people were excited. Your average person was excited when Mad Max won like 10 Oscars, because it was finally like, oh, like they get it for this movie.
Yeah.
Like, but you know what I mean? Like,
well, and I look at like, I look at like Infinity War. Infinity War had some really cool cinematography.
Well, in special effects, it's up
special
for,
effects.
right?
It is up for visual effects, but it's like, of course it's up for visual effects.
Right.
It's one of the nicest looking movies of the year. Visual effects, Solo was in there too. I think Solo might actually win, because I think Solo was more, and I like Infinity War way, way better. But I think that Solo, as far as like being photorealistic, was more consistent. Infinity War has a couple shots, like I said, with those Mark Ruffalo shots.
Dark and muddy looking though, Solo.
I agree, but it all looks real.
I suppose. Yeah, that's true.
There were a few shots, like I said, with Mark Ruffalo where his head pops out. It's very green screen.
Okay.
But do you want to do an animated feature film?
Yeah, this one's easy. Spider-Man wins.
Yes, absolutely. But the nominees are Incredibles 2. The nominees are Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Maria, which is a Japanese film, it looks like. Ralph Breaks the Internet. I think I'm going to watch that, Mario, whatever it is, because I'm an anime guy. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man's going to win.
Spider-Man should win, but it lets you know how great of a year it's been for animation, because all of those are good.
Yeah.
Like, all are real. Like,
and they're very different. You've got Isle of Dogs, you've got the Spider-Man movie, Wreck-It Ralph, all different styles of animation.
Well, Incredibles 2 and Wreck-It Ralph are basically the same.
I suppose. Sorry, I forgot about Incredibles 2.
But at the same time,
it's crazy that Incredibles 2 isn't a lock. Because when you saw that, you were like, "Oh, damn, this is really good."
This is it. Yeah, this was it. Cinematography, though, Cold War. We're talking about,
didn't see that.
Yeah, didn't see it. We're talking about those hoity-toities.
I'll let the people know, because I like the pretentious movies.
Can we just rename the Oscars the hoity-toities?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, seriously.
Makes sense.
Fuck off, Cold War. Nobody saw you.
Okay, I bet Roma's in there.
The favorite.
I don't remember this list, but
Never Look Away. Nobody saw that one either. Roma and A Star Is Born.
I'd give it to Roma. I know you hate that, but I'd give it to Roma. I think it's going to win that.
Of the ones that I've seen on this list, which is 2 movies, I would give it to A Star Is Born.
Okay, well, there's not
But
even
I
close.
can't believe you're
Star
right.
Is Born has no chance of beating Roma in that category.
It's just, I agree with you, though. I cannot believe Alpha wasn't nominated. I can't believe that
Action movies are ever not. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, action movies should almost always, like a John Wick movie, you bet your ass should be up there.
It's tough. Yeah, you got to imagine lining up all that shit and,
Also, I saw there's a, I believe it's a Vanity Fair video on YouTube where director Ryan Coogler was going through an action sequence, and he was talking about all these things he did for, like, the action sequence in the gambling casino.
Okay, yeah. The best action sequence in the movie, probably. That was pretty sweet.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But he actually was talking about like colors and what they represent and all this shit. And I was like, oh man, so cinematography was actually thought about a lot in this movie too, because you were thinking about like what different, because he was saying blue represented colonialism. And I was like, that's fucking great. That's not always thought about.
It is funny. These the genre movies do get fucked. Like last year, in my opinion, War for the Planet of the Apes should have fucking gotten a ton of awards for shit.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like,
no.
Everybody who sees the movie goes, oh, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's just bizarre.
Okay, we don't need to keep going, but I do want to do costume design because I got to get on my
peeve.
I got to get on my high horse. It's just a continuation of what we're talking about. But costume design. So The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Panther, The Favorite, Mary Poppins Returns, and Mary Queen of the Scots.
Now, so 3 of those are like ladies in corset.
Yeah.
Kind
Congratulations. You looked at some old paintings and you did that.
I'm more impressed in oldie set design than I am costumes.
I guess. Yeah. And I'm being reductionist. I'm sure it's tough. I'm sure like the actual making of that shit is tough.
But it's always the same.
It is.
Right.
And the thing is I look at something like Black Panther, you had to start from scratch. You had to make this society from the ground up and think about how these people wore it and where they wore it and why they wore it and the colors and what did it mean and how did it evolve over time. There's so much more going into a sci-fi or fantasy film's costume design than what goes into a period piece one. And it pisses me off that they never fucking win.
No, it's always period pieces.
Yeah. Like when,
dude, they get nominated for like makeup too.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the makeup Oscar means nothing to me after Suicide Squad won. Seriously.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It won over, and I can't even remember what the film was that was way better than it, but there was a movie that was way better than it. And I was like, nope, I'm done. That might have been my I'm done with the Oscars moment. Suicide Squad is an Oscar-winning film.
That's true.
That's a sentence that should not be uttered in any universe.
Should be a Razzie winner.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think that's kind of, that's most of like the big awards.
But yeah, I mean, my overall thoughts are I was disappointed when I saw the list. A bunch of my stuff didn't get on. Toni Collette should have been nominated.
That's the make or break for this year, I think.
It's bizarre.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Do these people not see it? Do they not watch horror? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because everyone who saw it, even if they didn't like the movie, they're like, yeah, she was fucking good.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she does everything in the movie. She has like the breakdown moment. She plays crazy.
Yep.
She's like, it's fucking.
Like I said, the scene where she's basically just giving family back history.
Oh, in the like therapy session. Yeah.
Is some of the best acting I've seen.
Oh, she nailed the one. Spoilers. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, see it and stop before I say this. But when her daughter died and she's like breaking down in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
I don't know.
Fuck you, Oscars. Get the
crazy.
fuck out of here. I didn't even love the movie. And I'm just like, you're so wrong.
Yeah, and I
loved
them. I'm just pissed. I think it should have been nominated for Best Picture, but that's my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean,
better picture than fucking Bohemian Rhapsody or Roma.
I feel like Annihilation should have been nominated for something like screenplay or best movie of the year. If I'm being honest,
that's a good call. Why not?
In all honesty, I think The Endless.
Yeah, but that's not even trying. Like that's what's fucked.
Well, it doesn't have any money to try,
right. Yeah.
Which I get. But it's like that's the other thing too. Is like you got to have all this money to run all these campaigns.
It's just like politics, man.
It's fucking bullshit, and we all know it.
Right.
I hate it. But
The Oscars.
The Oscars. That's Bored and Annoyed with the Oscars.
Have a good one, people.
Thanks for listening, guys. And be sure to check out our website. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Bored and Annoyed.
Yep. Yeah, just go to boredandannoyed.com. You'll find all those places there.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Bye.